The following program is a Town of Colonie television production of the William K. Sanford Town Library.
Welcome to Open Door on the Arts. My name is Joe Nash. Today we're talking to Dan Ventresca, and we're going to be talking about the 26th season of the Curtain Call Theater and their second season in their new theater. So welcome, Dan.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Dan's going to be directing the first play of the season, Biloxi Blues by Neil Simon. But before we start, why don't we just find out a little bit about you. You were telling me you were a graduate of Guilderland High School in 1999. You went away working sort of in the theater world and the film world. Let's just give us a little background on yourself, and then we'll talk about your directorial debut.
No pressure at all.
Okay.
So I graduated in 99, and then I moved out to film school in San Francisco, where I really kind of studied a little bit of theater, performance art, and then production, filming, how you put stuff together from a production standpoint. And we kind of did everything: editing, writing, acting, I say loosely. And it was great. It was awesome. It was just a gang of us, and we just kept making stuff. So from there, then I moved down to LA for about 10 years, found my way into writing, and then I became an agent.
An agent for film actors or theatrical actors, or both?
Actually, writers.
Oh, writers. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Feature film and television writers.
Okay.
Which was interesting. I found that actually helped me develop my taste, really, as a director, filmmaker.
Yeah. Okay, so now you're back in our area. And how did you, the Curtain Call Theater, again, I just said 26th season, they have a new theater down in Jeannie Jugan Lane, I think, is that how you say it?
I think it's Jean Jugan Lane. Yeah.
Jean Jugan Lane. It's, if you know the old theater, you keep from Latham, you keep going right past the old one. It's just a little bit down the road. It's in that old building where, I forgot the name of it, but the nuns used to live in there. It's right before St. Ambrose, right?
Yeah,
you go right in there.
It's like in I think it's the Ashfield Apartments.
Yeah. It's apartments now. So how did you get involved with Curtain Call? And this is also your directorial debut.
It is, yes. So I finished a short film, and my producing partner had acted for her before.
For
Curtain Call.
Okay.
And he knew Carol very well. So I had kind of wanted to get back to theater after doing a couple of short films. I just kind of wanted to get back to a script and actors and just kind of work with actors. I just love actors.
Yeah.
They're just the best. And so I kind of just started emailing a bunch of theaters to test the water, just cold emails.
But you had moved back to this area before?
I had.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd been back for a little bit.
Okay.
And so once I told my producing partner that I reached out, he sung Carol's praises and just said she's awesome. They put on great shows, and he would happily make a call for me.
Okay.
And she responded and told me to come on over, and I went over and we started talking.
And then you were telling me before we started, I don't know if this is the usual way, you did not pick this play, Biloxi Blues by Neil Simon. It was sort of handed to you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right. No, but I mean, we had several conversations about taste and the possible shows that she may be doing at the time. And she thought this one would be the most appropriate for my sensibilities. And she was right. Are
you a fan of Neil Simon, or do you?
I am.
Oh, okay.
I was aware of his other stuff. It's funny though. I hadn't actually seen this or read this before, and then I realized Mike Nichols and Matthew Broderick did the film version. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hold off. I don't want to see this until the show's done.
Okay, so you haven't seen it yet?
I have not.
Okay, so that's the first play of the season. It's from September 13th through September 22nd. The shows are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. We'll go through that at the end. Yeah. So Biloxi Blues, when we say Neil Simon, we think of Neil Simon, we think comedy. This play has some pretty funny parts, but this play also has some serious parts, undertones of seriousness all the way through. It's a coming of age. Why don't you talk a little bit about where this play falls? It's part of that middle. It's the middle play of a 3-play trilogy that's very autobiographical.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, this would be that second kind of segment, I guess, Act 2 of the 3 structure. But yeah, you're right. It's definitely a little dark at times because there's real dramatic moments. There's real kind of issues and situations that that the characters go through. With some comedy later in there.
Because I know in the brochure here, another comic gem, but I tell people it does have some darkness.
It does, yeah. it definitely does. We don't. The actors and I were talking about it. Not going for the laughs is the way to go. We treat it as dramatic, as a dramatic piece, and the comedy will find its way through the
So
facts.
Now, without giving anything away, before we talk about the play, give us the overall premise of the play, and then we can talk a little bit about it all.
Yeah, so it's set in World War II, boot camp, Biloxi,
Mississippi.
Yep, Mississippi. I always want to say Missouri for some reason. Thank you, Mississippi. Not enough coffee yet. And basically, it's we follow our narrator, our main character, Eugene, who's kind of our guide through this whole thing. And it's about, trying to connect and experience life and all the different people and personalities and situations that you kind of go through that kind of defines who you are, and it kind of has an effect on you,
And back then, during the World War II draft, you had people from all segments of society. I mean, this reminds me of the sort of the World War II movie. There's always the New York City guy, the Irish guy, the Jewish guy.
Right.
So this play has a little bit of that too, right?
It does. It has that dynamic for sure.
So
that's fun,
When you were were you involved in the auditions for the actors?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Now, I just said, were you looking for the Jewish guy, the Italian guy, or were you just trying to get? Was that a factor in the?
It certainly was something we had thought about when we went in, but I think Carol and I ultimately were just looking for the best actors, really.
I mean, if someone's a good actor, they could play the Polish guy. Or
Right. And we saw a lot, but it was funny because I had seen a bunch of shows this past season, their first season in the new place, and I had already kind of cherry-picked a few that I really liked, and she also brought some suggestions of actors that she worked with before that she knew that would be perfect, and they were.
Okay, so what in that process? What is that like? These are all local actors that have full. They're not full-time actors, are they? They're all.
I mean, they are professional, but they all have to pay the bills as well. Some of them don't work, some of them do.
Are they any of them equity actors?
I don't believe they are.
All right, but they're community actors. Okay.
Right.
But a lot of them work full-time, or they act full-time, is it?
I believe so. I mean, I say professional in the sense that, they know how to structure a performance.
Oh, okay, so they
have chops.
Yes, all right, that's good. So what can you tell us about some of the actors? Who are we going to be seeing?
A couple of regulars at the theater.
I think a lot of the people that go to the Curtain Call regularly will probably know some of these guys.
I would imagine. One is Carolyn Shields.
Okay.
She was in Importance of Being Earnest.
Okay.
Really great, has very interesting line delivery choices, and that's what stood out to me. Jen Van Eiderstein's also kind of a regular there, very kind of larger than life. She'll make choices and go with it. Some are a little bold, and that's what we wanted for this character that she's playing.
Now, last year I saw Lost in Yonkers there.
Yeah.
Is someone from Lost in Yonkers in?
Lost in Yonkers, I believe, yes. I think one of the younger guys, Josh, who's very good, very kind of embodies the character, really. Yeah. So it wasn't a stretch. Nick Basenko was also in Importance of Being Earnest. Really nice range.
So people will be seeing a lot of regulars.
You will, yeah. My guess is they'll recognize.
And in this play, one of the techniques in the play, Eugene addresses the audience a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. Is that, and who's playing Eugene?
A really talented actor, Matthew Reddick.
Oh, okay.
He was, I think he was in this past season. I'm forgetting the name. I think it was Arsenic and Old Lace.
Oh, okay.
But he's very good.
So what do you like about, you said you were a Neil Simon fan, what do you like about this play? What do you hope people may sort of come away with by seeing it? It isn't just a bunch of guys getting to know each other from all over the country in World War II. There's a lot more to it than that.
There really is. Yeah, there's a lot of layers to it. I think some of it is just the fact that, you know, it's kind of about, you know, to me, it's really about real growth comes from pressure. Mm-hmm. When everything is going wrong and difficulties are coming your way and you're dealing with difficult people and difficult situations, once you get through that, usually that's where most of the growth happens. Yeah. And I think that's one element that I responded to.
And it's also a situation, the main character, Eugene, he has never left Brooklyn, right?
Right.
And a lot of it is his first experiences with a lot of different things. Why don't we just leave it at that? Everything you would imagine that to be. You know, girls, life experience. So this is your first time directing. How are you, even though you've worked in this field a little bit, how do you find directing?
I love it, especially if you have great actors like this cast. It makes it very easy for me. But to me, that's the fun, really.
Yeah.
But I kind of take the same approach with film. It's a very theatrical approach with like rehearsals.
So you directed films before?
I did.
Oh, okay,
yeah. But I think the misconception is that everybody thinks that you do some like crazy voodoo to extract a performance. Yeah. And really, that's not really it. It's really kind of done in rehearsal. You help build the layers for the character, and then the actor takes that and makes it their own, and that's where the performance comes from.
And then you saying you have 6 weeks of rehearsal. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Is that the normal for a community theater? I don't.
You know, I'm not sure. I think we got an extra week in there, but it is only maybe like 3 to 4 hours at a time.
Oh, okay.
You know, so. You always want more time, obviously.
Yeah. So, and this play is starting in September 13th. They go on Thursday nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's the Curtain Call. Is it thecurtaincall.com? So, what is a typical? How do you get ready to do a play? Do you guys all read it together first, then you start rehearsing? You don't just jump right in, do you?
No. I do an obsessive amount of prep myself, but then I kind of throw it out because the actors will bring a lot of interesting stuff, and usually their instincts are really spot on. So I like to start with just icebreakers. Yeah. You know, that first week name game, we play different game to build the creative team. Are you listening to me? Am I listening to you? If I give you something, will you take it and run? So we play a lot of games. Then we'll go into kind of like a sitting rehearsal where we'll just kind of read the play and we'll just try things. Yeah. There's no right or wrong. We'll just try anything. Once you kind of start to get familiar, you'll start to get loose and you'll start trying things and things will start to click. Then we'll get on our feet. I like to do some improvisation exercises as well.
With them in character?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like last night we did like a dinner, but I had them prepare certain questions to ask. So usually if you're eating or you're doing something with your hands, you're not thinking, so you're freed up to kind of just be in the moment as a character.
Sounds like there's a lot going on here before the
there's
the first curtain here.
Yeah, we don't just open the curtain.
Now, do some of these actors, do they know each other before? Or?
Some did.
Some
did.
Right.
Some did. Some didn't. But that's where those kind of games, we play.
And one thing about the Curtain Call, the new theater, it is a lot bigger than the old theater, the stage, that is.
Yeah.
Are some of the actors that were in the old place, do they like this new expand?
I think they do. Yeah, I think they do. I think it's an adjustment because once you get used to that kind of space, you've got eyes in the back of your head. You kind of know how much you've got behind you. So I imagine it's difficult.
So you already started rehearsal. You met with the actors.
Yep.
What have you? Have you met with the scene people and the lighting and all that stuff? Has that all started yet?
Yeah, we got lucky because we fell in like a little break. So the set's already built. We're rehearsing in the set.
And the set is an army barracks, more or less.
So this posed a particular challenge because
the opening scene's on a train. There's a couple scenes on a train. All right.
But there's like 9 different set changes.
Oh, okay.
So the designer, who's very talented, his name is Frank. I think it's Oliva from New York City, had a had to basically build us,
Yeah.
kind of a little portion of each. So a lot of it is kind of free-flowing in that sense, because we had so much. So like there's a dance. Well, we're not going to build the dance. We'll just have a disco ball, and there's our dance.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Now, how this doesn't give anything away, but the opening scene, they're going from New Jersey, New York City down to Fort Dix, and the opening scene is they're all cramped. How are you going to be doing this thing on the train? You got layers or?
Well, it's kind of the only way I can describe it without giving away too much is like a tiny house, right? Like everything has like 3 different uses.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we're structuring the entire play with our sets.
Okay.
Sound is a key part there.
Yeah. Okay. With the train and the.
So yeah, we have bunk beds, so we're kind of using those to double as like a train.
So what are you finding? You've been back for 3 or 4 years away. Our area has really been growing in the community theater. There's a lot going on in the community theater world. What have you been finding about all that?
Well, it's exciting. I mean, I remember when I left.
So you were gone from 2000 to like 2014 or so.
Yeah,
something
about
like that. Right.
Yeah, so, but you couldn't really rent a camera here. So then the wisdom was just get out to LA, get into the business somehow, and then you find your way.
You mean you wanted to be in film?
Initially, but I want to do both film and
But you
theater.
couldn't. You're saying in 2000.
But
It seems like it's not that long ago, but it really was. You couldn't rent a camera anywhere.
Not really. not like a 16 millimeter or 35
Really?
millimeter movie camera. No,
wow.
not up here. But that's changed. Once I got back, there's so much happening. There's a lot of great community theater going on. There's so many great actors and designers. It's pretty awesome.
Okay.
It's a really good time to be creative up here.
So let me just ask you one thing about, we're talking about how this play is funny and dramatic. What do you like about that combination? You got, like you said a minute ago, you just let it come what comes. You don't really go for the laugh. If it's in there, it's going to happen. But do you like that kind of play more than just a straight comedy or a straight drama, or do you like that mixture?
I do like the mixture because I think that's life.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of Neil Simon's plays, they're not just all straight comedies.
Right, I agree with you. I think there's definitely, it kind of ebbs and flows between both drama and comedy, and I think depending on what side of the coin you're looking at, it could either be drama or comedy.
Okay. So what kind of, you said you like to do research, what kind of research did you do for this play, Biloxi Blues?
So first, the obvious thing was the photos from World War II. We looked at like the designer 9 wardrobe and props. We're looking at all sorts of stuff, from barracks, the latrine, trains, the wardrobe, everything. So I did a lot of, we all did a lot of that kind of prep, so there's that. But then I always do my type of prep, just getting ready for like thinking about, okay, if I've got a group, how do I structure certain improvisational exercises that's going to help shape it as it pertains to the play? Is there a scene in the play that I could kind of reconstruct in an improv situation that'll help?
Yeah, okay, I see. All right.
So a lot of it, you kind of go in thinking about that stuff.
Now, some of your actors, are they familiar with Neil Simon and or this play?
They are, yeah. Okay. Most of them are very well versed.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounds like you got a good, well-rounded cast that have been in a lot.
Yeah, the cast
sounds almost like a professional theater.
That's what I mean. Like people think they hear community theater, I think, and they're like, that's not the case here. They spend money to build sets, and the actors are all fantastic.
I know. I was there. Like I say, I've been there several times. I would have to say people have this conception of community theater as just people that work all day and they just put on a show at night. But it's really, it sounds like you got some people that do that.
Yeah, they're very good, and they're all very hardworking.
So what is your future after this? Are you going to be working in the curtain call, or do you have any other? Do you know what you're going to be? Or what else do you do besides?
Well, if I don't blow this one, yeah. So if it's I would love to keep doing stuff there for curtain call because I really love that crew there, Carol and the whole place. I'd like to just bounce back. I'm writing stuff. I'm trying to self-finance another film. So.
All right. So you're still involved in the film.
Yeah.
In the film world.
I like to do both.
Okay.
So it keeps me sharp.
So Biloxi Blues is at the curtain call, September 13th through September 22nd. Thursday performances are at 7:30, Friday and Saturday at 8, Sundays are at 3, and then once a month there's a Saturday matinee at 3. Do they do 2 shows that day? Or do you know?
You know, I think it is.
Okay.
On that Saturday when they do that matinee, yeah, I believe it's 2 that day.
So I'll tell people because they can go to the website. But the rest of the season, October 25th is Every Brilliant Thing by Duncan Macmillan. A Comedy of Tenors is in November to December, which is, I think it's a sequel to Lend Me a Tenor. Do you know the Lend Me a Tenor?
I don't.
Okay. And next January to February, The Absolute Brightness of Leonard Pelkey. I know that as a book. I think it's a book. Old Love and New Love by Laura Brenzia. Terms of Endearment, obviously based on the play, on the movie. And then and next May, The Legend of Georgia McBride. And then in July, something's announced. So do you, was Carol, Carol, what's her name?
Max.
Carol Max is the director of, or the artistic director, is that the right term?
Yep.
It looks like she's going for a lot of stuff that's both new and not usually done. A lot of community theater, you see a lot of the same things.
Right, she's taking some creative risks with some of these, yeah.
I know last year I saw, or 2 years ago, they did The Normal Heart, which is a great play, and they did last year. So what have I forgotten? Have I forgotten anything? Anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's
it. Well, good luck with
got some good stuff in store for you.
Good luck with Biloxi Blues, Neil Simon comedy, but it is kind of serious too. September 13th through September 22nd, the Curtain Call, the new theater on Jean Jugan Lane. It's right past the old place, down a little bit. If you take a right before St. Ambrose, people who live here will know where that is.
Yeah.
All right. So Dan, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hopefully we'll see you again. If you're going to direct again, let us know. And good luck. And I'm going to come and see this because I like this play a lot
Definitely
too.
let me know when you come by. I'll buy you a beer.
All right, and we'll see you next time on Open Door for the Arts. My name is Joe Nash. You may have just seen me interviewing Dan Ventresca, the director of Biloxi Blues over at the Curtain Call. And I was wearing different clothes when I did that. But we discovered a few mistakes in our editing I want to tell you about. Biloxi Blues will be at the Curtain Call through October 13th. If you were paying attention, I made it sound like it's only there from September 13th to September 22nd, but that is wrong. Biloxi Blues goes from September 13th through October 13th. It's a long run. So please go to the Curtain Call and see Biloxi Blues. Showtimes are Thursdays at 7:30, Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday matinees at 3 p.m., and a once a month matinee, a Saturday one at 3. And I also, in the course of our editing, discovered another mistake. It's the Curtain Call's website is curtaincalltheater.com. All the information's there. And we will see you at Biloxi Blues.